Hello, Joe Evans.
Hi
You are
there.
on our lockdown lesson. I don't even know how many you're on now, but it's like 30 something. I don't know. And I had one of those moments with Joe where I really wanted to invite her on a lockdown lesson. And I had in my head that I'd sent this long message, a voice message about getting on a lockdown lesson. When I went back to check your answer and why you hadn't answered, I realised I never sent it. It's all in my head. So it's taken us this long to get you on here, but you've been very busy, haven't you, with your own version? So what have you been doing?
Yeah, well, it was something that came about because of a session that you and Phil did right at the beginning of lockdown. And you were talking about, how to market your business. And I had just completely withdrawn because obviously all my customers are spas and hotels and they'd all closed. So I closed the unit. I thought, I'm not manufacturing, and I'd completely withdrawn and kind of disconnected from the business a bit. And then I watched you with Phil and you were talking about how to market, and you were saying people at the moment don't want to get sold to. They just want a bit of community spirit, and think about something in your business you can do to help other people. And I thought, well, I love making things. I absolutely love making things. I really, really miss it. So I thought, well, why don't I talk about making skincare out of the things already in your house, so you haven't got to leave your house. So it came from that, watching your session. And I thought, well, what is it that people are really struggling with at the moment? And of course, it's their hands, isn't it? All the washing and the sanitizing, exactly. And it's such a window on yourself as well. So I just did a bit of research and I came up with a hand mask. I thought, well, I'll try it as a Facebook Live. I haven't done Facebook Live before either, so this was massively out of my comfort zone. And you can imagine, I used to be a teacher, so anybody who taught with me knows what I was like. And I had, all my notes and all my bits and pieces and everything. And it was just so over-organized, to be honest. But I did this session and the response was just incredible. I had people posting pictures.
It was fantastic.
It was great. And then I was, oh, my hands feel much better, thank you. And so I thought, well, if they've enjoyed that, then what else can I have a look at, to help with other parts of the, face and feet and that sort of thing. So it was always meant to be a bit of fun. I wanted to do something that people could do with their children or their partner, or if they're on their own, just something just to brighten their day, get a bit messy, have a bit of fun. Obviously, we all have our own skincare routines and our own favourite products and whatever. But this was just to inject a bit of fun into people's days. And it really has. The response has just been incredible.
It's been fantastic. And so many people have told me and asked me why I haven't had you on the lockdown lessons, and I've said because she hasn't answered my message that I didn't a mind reader. And it's so funny what you say about that, because we couldn't obviously have known how things were going to progress, but my instinct at the beginning of this was people need to show up. They need to just it doesn't really matter what you say. My news at 10 is a bit of nonsense, really. I don't know why anybody watches it. It's just my ramblings.
But it's comforting. It punctuates my day. I get my little ding dong. So much down is live, and it's like, oh, it's 10 o'clock, and then I get a ding dong. It's always 12 o'clock.
I've got a better on time than every day. But I think people just need to see you every day. And I was just saying to you, Joe, off air, that as soon as in my 10 o'clock this morning, because I had to be quiet because of where I stood, a friend jumped on the phone with me and we spoke for an hour. And so that's a really lovely thing to have come out of showing up. I think if you show up and you're visible, it doesn't really matter what you're saying. It's more about how you're presenting yourself, isn't it? And as a business owner, I think that's really important. And you have actually got something to say. Lots of business owners have got nothing to say, but you have got something to share with us. So tell us about your business, Joe, because I'm assuming everybody just knows who Joe Evans is, but maybe...
my business is Bespoke Aroma, and it came about. I used to live in the Midlands, and which you can probably tell a little bit in the accent.
And I lost it. It's just a little tiny bit.
If when I go back home and I see my parents and my friends, I will come back much stronger. You'll know when I visited home. And we relocated up here about 10 years ago, and I was a teacher down in the Midlands, and I thought, well, I'll take a year off. I had a young family, 2-year-old and a 5-year-old, get ourselves settled. I'll go back into teaching. Very naive, thinking that there were lots of teaching jobs around, but there obviously aren't. It's very rural. And I'd always loved spa treatments, massage products, things like that. A bit of a spa bunny myself, absolutely loved it. And it was one of those 40th epiphanies. I was up in Centre Parks in Penrith, waiting for a treatment on my 40th birthday with my family. And I thought, I'd love to do this as a job. It was the whole ambience. It was the music, it was the smells, it was even the uniform. I mean, very naively thinking it was a nice, stress-free job. I thought, I'm going to retrain. That's it, I'm going to retrain. So I went back, this was in August. I went back, phoned up Kendal College. They had one space left on their complementary therapies course. Within 2 weeks, I'd sorted this amazing friend I'd made to look after the kids on a Monday for me, take them to school, bring them back home, feed them and everything. And so September, I started a course. It was a year-long course. And I upgraded to do my own aromatherapy, blend my own oils, because I didn't want to do pre-blended. I absolutely loved it. Started off as a mobile therapist, so doing people's aromatherapy. And, when you have one of these right place, right time moments in your life, I had a meeting with Barney and Zoe of the Gilpin, I think, to see if they would like any products made. I just had a very small range at the time. And they just got planning permission for their brand new spa. And I walked in and we just started chatting. And they said, oh, are you a therapist as well? I said, yeah, I'm a therapist as well. And I walked out with the spa manager's job. It was just the bizarrest thing. It's like,
I bet they thought they'd fallen on their feet. I mean, fancy their new spa manager walking through the door that knows so much about essential oils and aromatherapy. That's incredible.
It was bizarre. But the lovely thing is they hadn't even started building. So I had amazing experience of working with Ben, kind of the architect, and deciding where things went. And it was great. And because I made all their products, I thought, I'm not going to get a big product house in. We don't need that. I made all the products for all the treatments, did all the sort of training and things. And I thought, well, I could do this for other spas as well. So that was like the seed of it. And then since then I've moved on and I've worked with Armathwaite. I do Salutations products. Lowood, I do their products. And also what was lovely is Kendal College. I make all the products now for their students. So you learn with my products. It's going to come full circle. So that's really nice.
Excuse me as well.
And
for the best estate agents in the world.
Well, I was about to come on to that. So also I get the privilege of making gorgeous bespoke products for lovely local businesses. So obviously, well, with yourselves, I have to give Siobhan at Little Leighton Soap Company the credit, because she makes those gorgeous candles and diffusers. She's amazing. So I was more the project manager with that. But we spent about 6 months with you, didn't we, to get the actual blend.
And then about a year waiting. Another year of you waiting for our emails. Thank goodness we took on Edward to.
Oh, wasn't amazing? Oh, he's lovely. Yes, that's sorted that out.
Thank goodness. Yeah. In fairness, we were kind of victim of our own success with Ashdan Jones, because I don't think we expected Phil and I to take off as quickly as it did. So we had all these ideas, and then we're really, oh, you've got a little person behind you. Oh no,
that's my husband answering the door. It always happens, doesn't it? Doorbells.
Always. Usually my dog starts barking around now, or pawing the carpet. Somebody comes to the door. But yeah, we had all these lovely ideas, and one of them was a scent box of some kind of little pamper scent box for people who were selling their homes. We had an idea of diffusers and candles and room sprays and all that. And then we started Jo off on this amazing, exciting journey, and then just completely dumped her for about a year, with her going, can we go to phase 2 yet? But we managed to take on, this is all about delegation, isn't it? Because we should have delegated it right out the gate. We should have just done that. But what we've come up with, I wish I had one actually. You haven't got one there, have you?
No, I haven't, no.
I'll try and yeah, they're so gorgeous. We completely stole the White Company's idea and made a beautiful square box. I say we, obviously Jo did. A deep square box with a lovely insert. And when you open it up, there's 2 beautiful, scent products in there that we can then give to people. So, and the idea of having our own scent in a bottle, called Ashdan Jones, that we give to our sellers, it feels so decadent and so right for our brands.
Right. Yeah.
And I presume those kind of projects that, you can just run with, can't you? You can just really get your teeth into.
Love it. I absolutely love it. The bespoke work is just brilliant. I feel like a mad scientist. So I get the actual what sort of thing the client wants, and I come up with all the samples, and then okay, we're on the right lines with that, tweak it a bit, and it's just I absolutely love it. I'm doing some work with some of the big spa companies now. I didn't actually appreciate this, but they outsource quite a lot of their work to smaller companies. So I'm working with an international brand at the moment, making spa oils for those which are going across the world. So that is really exciting.
And I suppose it sounds like a daft question, but is what you do restricted to what I'd call sort of a fragrant? I suppose what I'm asking is this: I've got a book on my shelf called Consumerology. And it's part of it is about when you walk into Asda and you can smell the bread. Do you ever get into that kind of the psychography of scent?
Oh, completely. Scent is such a personal thing that, say for instance, one of my clients is a solicitor, and he wants a certain scent. He wants people to walk in and be relaxed, feel put at ease. So obviously most people that walk into a solicitor's, maybe 50% of the time it's not for pleasant reasons. So we're still working on, obviously we're locked down, it's gone on hold at the moment, but we're working on one that, so when people are in there, it's going to just help to relax and calm them. So it is such a personal thing. It's quite hard to find something that ticks everybody's box, but I find it fascinating. It's all the level of the chemicals within the essential oils. It can have one effect on one person, but also it's all about smell memories as well. So for instance, a good friend of mine can't stand the smell of lavender because she fell in a lavender bush when she was young, whereas someone else will love the smell of lavender. So often it's to do with things that affected you when you're younger, positive and negatively can affect them what you like the smell of.
And is it different sort of scents or different oils for different? I mean, can one sort of lift your mood? One can calm you down? Is that how it works?
Yeah, definitely. So you've got different notes. It's a bit like with wine. So you've got top, middle, and base notes. So the top notes.
I just drink my wine. I'm
trying to bring wine into it. That's for Joanna Ireland as well, in case she's watching.
Yeah, obviously. Yeah.
So you've got your top notes, which is like citrus. So they're really uplifting, but they do go the quickest. So you have to blend them with other notes, like middle notes, which are more sort of flowers, like geranium, lavender, that sort of thing. And then your base notes are the cement that holds it together. So that's the heavy ones like a sandalwood and ylang and rose and those sort of much more heady ones. So you're trying to find a synergy between the three. And once it works, you've got it. You just smell it and you just know. When you walk into a spa, you just get that smell and it's just, it all just comes together.
I haven't got time for spas, Joe. Way too busy for spas. I haven't got time to watch TV at the moment. So Susie Blythe came on the other day talking about wines, and she said a cheap wine is like a cheap perfume, and that once the top bit's gone, that's it. It's just gone. Whereas what you're looking for is something that evolves and gets more and more enhanced as it maybe matures on the skin or in the room or whatever. Is that the same then?
Exactly the same. Yeah. So what we'll say, you've got a diffuser with a blend in it. Like I said, the top notes will go first, and then you're left with sort of the more flowery ones, and then in the end you're left with the heady ones. But if you put it onto skin, it's instantly different because everybody has their own smell on their skin and how that interacts with it. So I, for instance, cannot wear a perfume. I can smell it on someone else and think that is gorgeous, try it. It smells like whole flowers within about 10 minutes. My skin hates perfume, it really does. So I can't walk through a department store without getting a banging headache, the perfume departments. I just can't do synthetic. I think that's why I've naturally come towards the essential oil side. So I can wear an essential oil, that's fine. But yeah, everybody's so different. It just reacts on their skin completely differently. So when you smell that person, I love the way you smell. Don't necessarily expect that it's going to smell that way on you either. And also what you can smell, say like with your candles that you give to your clients, what you can smell and what your clients will smell from it are probably two different smells as well.
And you would never know, would you? Because if you could say, well, it smells like lavender, but their version of lavender is different to my version of lavender. That's so interesting. And I think just going back to what you said about going through a department store and getting a headache, you must be very sensitive to smells, because after 2 or 3 smells, my sensory, glands or whatever they are, stop working. But I think that you've probably got a very heightened sense of smell, and therefore you are probably overloaded. Is that right? In a department store?
Sometimes, so I've got quite a small unit that I manufacture in, And sometimes I come out and I feel really quite heady, or I can feel a bit sick, because some of the smells affect me more than others, like chamomile. A lot of people love chamomile, so I put it in some of my products, but I can't really smell it and not feel a bit sicky. So I have to be quite careful when I make it, and make sure it's the last thing I make in the day, so I can then leave the unit and sort of leave the smell behind. So yeah, I'm quite hypersensitive when it comes to smell, definitely.
What about things like, because I love the smell of petrol, a bit weird, I know, but what about that?
I love two-stroke. I love the smell of two-stroke.
You do? That's so weird that you do. Yeah. Wow. And things like freshly mowed grass, I'm sure everybody says that.
Yeah, yeah. And mine's freshly baked scones.
Well, mine's just scones, actually. Yeah, you can't say scone. You can't say scones if you're living up here.
I can't say scone, can I? I was born in Hampshire. I was giving that one away. Yes, scones.
Well, let's go into your 5 tips. Okay. I've actually forgotten what we called this. What we called this? 5.
Well, what I've done is I've taken really I've done 4 Facebook Lives now. So we did a hand mask, and then we did a face mask. Then we did a little foot care routine, which was a soak, a scrub, and a moisturize. And then this Thursday just gone, we did a face scrub. And I've gone through and I've just pulled out my favorite 5 ingredients that I've used. So I'm just going to go through those, say what's great about them and how you could possibly use them.
Brilliant. Ali has just done an immersive installation, or she's just in the middle of doing it. She wants to use some of your smells in it. I don't think you call them smells, Ali. I think you have to call them scents. Smells is something different.
That is so Ali. Yes, Ali, you can use my smells, honey. Oh, that reminds me, one of the reasons I get nervous about doing any sort of live, talking about the word smells, is I made such a wally of myself once on radio. It was Lakeland Radio, and it was a Christmas market. And it was John Pye, and he was asking, he interviewed me, he said, well, if I came here, what would I see? And I was in this little room, it was at the Cedar Manor. I was in this room, and I went around just saying who the people were. And there was a chap selling calendars, there was Richard on his guitar, and I said, and then I pointed to where I was, and you can come and smell my bits. And as soon as the words came out my mouth, I was like, my brain was going, what have you just said? What have you just said? And then next to me was Andy from Lakeland Fells Furniture, who had the most beautiful handcrafted train set. And I was so flummoxed, I went, and look at wooden stuff. I vowed then I would never do anything live again. Oh, it's scarred me live. And here I am.
But telling the story.
Well, you know,
I can't believe you're sharing this, Jo. Yeah, please, Kerry, because that's what makes Jo real. That's why we love this show.
Right, so number 1 is the banana. So I love eating these. We get through these so much in our house. But this was one thing when I was doing my research, was kept on coming up time and time again for something that was very natural. So basically, you know, with lockdown, we've all gone back to basics, haven't we? We've all got rid of all the frou-frou, and it's just looking at basics. So it's just, you know, looking back at what people used to use. And some of these things, a couple of them I'm going to show you today, they've been around for hundreds and hundreds of years. It's just what people got their hands on to use. So basically, bananas are really high in vitamin A and E. So vitamin E is when you buy a lot of skincare, you mentioned vitamin E, which is your antioxidant. So basically anti-aging vitamin E, because you are decreasing the oxidation of your skin. So always look for vitamin E in everything. So obviously eating vitamin E is great, but having it in a product is really good as well. And then
what does antioxidant mean, and what's that got to do with the skin when it ages? Can you just briefly tell us?
Well, basically, you've got what they call free radicals, which is all environmental attacks on your skin. So pollution, the sun, anything like that. It's all attacking your skin all the time. So vitamin E sort of reduces that oxidation of the skin. So it just slows down the aging process. So any creams have vitamin E.
So oxidation is aging, is it?
Yes. Yes.
What's the oxygen part of it then? It sounds like it's putting oxygen in your skin if it's oxidating, is that right?
It's basically it's attacking the skin cells, and you're just losing your natural moisture in your skin, and just, you know, the lines will increase and the wrinkles will increase. It's just helping to slow that down. And then also the banana contains vitamin A, which helps to restore the moisture in the skin as well, and helps to smooth and repair it. So if you imagine, if you're to use something like that pureed onto your skin, you're getting quite a nice sort of direct boost on the skin.
I can't imagine it. You blush.
It feels amazing. And it contains really good minerals as well. So you've got zinc and manganese in there as well, and they're anti-inflammatory. So if you've got slightly delicate skin, sensitive skin, it's really good for that as well. And it's antibacterial. But one of the great things about doing things with skincare and natural stuff, you know, if you want to, obviously you've got the scientific skincare ranges and they're amazing, and then you've got natural skincare ranges and they're amazing. It's, some of it is just the fun of it. It's just the fun of it, and it's just releasing those happy hormones, that serotonin, and a lot of that comes through smell.
You can put that banana down. It's just making me laugh now. Just stop it with the banana. What's next on your list as well as bananas?
So mash it up, pop it on your face, mix it with, say, yogurt or honey or whatever. Yogurt, yeah.
Breakfast.
Yeah, you can eat it as well. So yogurt, you've got lactic acid in yogurt, and that naturally sloughs off the dead skin cells. So that's really good. Yeah. So when
I'm wiping it all off, you know, an hour or whatever later, is that what you have to do?
I'll keep it for about 10 minutes. Oh. Not an hour.
It'll be like
wipe it off with a tissue. Don't put it down your plug hole, and then rinse the rest off.
Okay.
And then you're left with that. So that's really good for any sort of face masks or anything like that. So that's oh, you love it, Sam. You love it. Right. So the next one is oatmeal. So you get your oats.
It's getting worse, this one, isn't it?
I have to stop this now. So I use quite powdered.
Right.
So I buy it.
Porridge oats, or is it different oats?
It's just porridge oats. So if you've got a blender, whiz it up in the blender, because you want to break it down a bit, because otherwise if you've got the big jumbo oats, that's not quite so pleasant using. So if you can make it into this quite fine oatmeal, that's the best thing to do. So oatmeal is something that if you've got eczema or psoriasis, you're loving this, aren't you?
She told me off for being rude this morning. I'm sorry. She's making me laugh with her banana and her oats and the story. I'm sorry. It was what Joe started me off on. It's just making me giggle. Right, behave ourselves. So oatmeal. So Psoriasis Society and Eczema Society really recommends oatmeal because it's really good for anti-inflammatory. So if you've got sensitive skin, it's great for that. It's really softening. It's good for dryness, any rough skin. Antioxidant again, so really good for anti-aging. And it's got something in it naturally called saponins, which are natural cleansers, really gentle cleansers. And also you can use it for quite a gentle exfoliation. So this is a really good one for a facial scrub. So you can just mix it with a little bit of oil or a little bit of honey and warm water and just use it as a face scrub, really gentle. But I use them a lot in my make bath teas. So it's a little muslin bag with oats and salts and whatever in. Bath tea? You're making it up.
Yeah, no, they're one of my best sellers. Honestly, I wish I had one to show you.
I think those two words should go together unless I'm having a cup of tea in the bath.
Well, it's in a bag, so you pop it in the bath when you run the bath. And then you lie there while it steeps, and then you use it, and then you wipe it on your...
That's hilarious. What a great idea.
Yeah, you got to try it.
Soap on the road from about 1972.
So yeah, use it. Try it in the bath, and then you can just sprinkle it in. But I put them into my little muslin bag so you don't end up with a mess in it. But it's great as any sort of body soak as well. Feet, pop it in the bowl and just soak your feet in there. It's really good for that as well.
Really? And does the honey, if you do add honey to it, does that have the effect of making it stick to your skin for a little while so that it doesn't all fall off when you're walking around? Or you're not supposed to walk around with this?
No, you probably wouldn't walk around with it. No, you might leave a bit of a mess.
What do you have to do for 10 minutes? Just sit there?
Well, yeah, if you've got it in the bowl, you just put your feet in the bowl and just let it soak for about 10 minutes.
Right.
With the oatmeal. But talking about honey, honey is actually my next one. So honey, raw is best. Raw is best. And I don't recommend you just slap it straight on your face, because that's not really pleasant.
Raw honey and non-raw honey then? What's that mean?
Well, raw honey hasn't gone through any heating processes or any sort of filtration processes. So you've got all the goodness still in it. Whereas this, I mean, this is just from a supermarket. So you've got some of the properties in there, but raw is better, definitely. But it's actually, honey is what they call a humectant, which means it attracts moisture out the air. So it's quite good if you're using in some sort of face product. There are so many products out there now with honey in them, because it's, you know, the properties of it. It's antibacterial, anti-inflammatory, and it's antiseptic as well. So it's quite good for damaged skin. So I tend to just add this to, in my Facebook Lives, we added it to like the hand mask that we did, because of the anti-inflammatory. So if your hands were sore, it was really good for that. And I added it onto the face mask as well. So I wouldn't put it directly onto your face, because it'll see it's fairly sticky and probably wouldn't feel that pleasant. But adding, you know, a teaspoon into a product, it's really, really good for it. And I haven't used it this way, but apparently if you water it down with a bit of warm water, it's really good as a hair conditioner. So you'd leave it in and then obviously then rinse it out. But
you'd think it would be sticky. I'd feel like I'd need to shampoo it out, which is probably...
Yeah, you would think it. But that, when I was doing my research, there was quite a few people saying use it as a conditioner. But if anyone has a go, let me know how you get on.
It might not be me.
Take that one for the team, Sam, if you want to do that one.
I've heard Prosecco is good for your hair, but only if you drink it. That's what I've heard.
Oh, Prosecco is brilliant for everything, because if you have Prosecco, you look gorgeous. I am lovely and my hair is gorgeous.
Very true. And a bit of Vaseline on my mirror. The combination of those two things, I'm a beauty queen.
It's perfect. Yeah, you don't need it at all. So, number 4 is salt. Okay. So don't use table salt, because that's got iodine in it, which probably won't do your skin any good. So any sort of sea salt, you know, the nice sort of crystallized sea salt, Epsom salt, Dead Sea salt, Himalayan salt. You can buy all these in the supermarket as well. You don't need to get anything specialist. But again, eczema and psoriasis, that's amazing with a salt, because it's full of minerals. So you've got potassium, magnesium, calcium, things like that in it. Reduces inflammation, really soothing, and obviously a brilliant exfoliant. So when I did the foot routine, we had it as the scrub. So obviously it's really good exfoliating, but also at the same time, if you're scrubbing your foot, then put it back into the water, you've got the goodness of the salt in the water as well. So it's quite healing. So obviously if you've got any very sore bits on your feet, probably not best to scrub salt into them, avoid those bits. But generally, if you can put it in a salt soak, then that is really, really good. So I would use that in bath soak again, you know, with your bath tea. When you're having your bath and you're having your tea.
I've got a very strange picture in my mind of how a bath tea might look. It's just...
I'm going to send you one. And you can try it.
Thank you.
And any sort of, obviously, any scrub. So add it to oil, the salt, and any scrub, but not your face. No. Don't do a salt scrub on your face. I mean, I did do a sugar facial scrub, but when I did that, I did say to people, don't scrub too much, because obviously anything like sugar and salt is not perfectly spherical. So you can, if you scrub too hard, you can get little micro tears. So I use in my products, I use something called jojoba beads. So it's basically jojoba oil that's been dehydrated, and it just forms these perfect little spherical beads. So that's much more gentle to use, but it is lovely to use as an exfoliant anywhere, like heels, you know, the salt on heels and all the lovely bits on your feet that you don't want people to see, because we might need bikini bodies. We don't know. We might even wear sandals.
It's going to be a caftan body this summer after these lockdown pounds have gone on.
But just if you were to wear a little kitten heel, Sam, you know, you might want your heels to look nice.
You've never met me though. I'm more likely to be in my wellies or my running gear.
You never know. Never say never. That's what I say.
And I wonder why I'm single. Yeah. That's what isn't it?
Is if you open the door with your banana on your face.
That's it. Yeah, that's going to be a new Tinder profile picture, actually. I'm going to put all the ingredients you've said all together and just slap them on my face. And I bet I get a lot more swipes. I'll see. I'll let you know.
Yeah. Right, number five is coconut oil. So anyone who's been watching my lives know I absolutely adore coconut oil, and it is the one that is solid at room temperature.
I give it to my dog, actually.
Yeah, oh, it's the best. Obviously, you can use it for cooking. So, you know, going into your body, it's brilliant, but it's just great on outside on your body. People use it in their hair a lot. It's a really good sort of mask to use in the hair. Anti-inflammatory, antibacterial, moisturizing, healing. I could just go on and on. So I absolutely love it. My only caveat is it's quite a heavy oil. So if your face is prone to breakouts, you might not want to use it in a facial product, but on the rest of your body, you come out the shower while you're still damp, coconut oil on you, and it will make you think of holidays because you'll smell amazing. And get raw, so it hasn't gone through any heating processes and it's not been filtered.
Put it on after a shower while your skin is warm. Do you not need to wipe it off again afterwards?
No, just don't put your best chiffon blouse on straight afterwards.
No, I'll make sure I don't do that, Jo. So, all right, I'm going to give you so I get dry skin here and dry skin here. In fact, Jenny Webster calls this my wine and dine spot, which is obviously not true. But those come out more when I exercise. So if I've been out for a long run or, you know, I'm outside a lot, then I really get them. So I think it's dryness, but what should I do? Should I use a mask? Because some parts of my face are not dry. So how does that work when you use a mask?
Well, you can either mix and match your masks. So if you tend to be drier in certain places, use a more oil-based one. And if you are more oily in other places, clay-based masks are good. So you could either mix and match or just try a dry-based one that's quite natural, like the one I was talking about with the yogurt and the honey and the banana. If you're doing one that's just, you know, from your store cupboard idea.
That sounds quite a nice one.
It is. It's actually it's lovely. I used it and I've had the response back from people were saying, you know, how lovely their skin felt. I would use a facial oil or do you use oils, facial oils, or are you more of a cream person?
I'm a cream person.
Oh, you should. I'd hate oils, but they're amazing. I'm addicted to facial oil now. It's just superb. Yeah. So you might find it helps you if you prepare your skin well as well. Sort of, you know, make sure that you've got that lovely fresh layer of skin. So if you were to use like the mask, then use the facial oil afterwards. You might find that really helps you.
Okay, I might try that. And facial oil. I've never even heard of a facial oil. I presume we're not talking about coconut oil now. Or we're talking about actually buying something.
Yeah, I perhaps if you want to, you could try a bit of olive oil as well. But that's quite a heavy one. I'm thinking of things that you've got in your house. I mean, a lot of products contain sunflower oil, but the sunflower oil you cook with has gone through a lot of processes. So you want to perhaps not do that. I would, something for you would be like something like jojoba oil, because that's as close to your natural skin's oils anyway. So your skin accepts it really easily. That's a beautiful oil to use. Or argan.
Get a bit from Amazon, maybe.
Yeah, it's so easy to get at the moment. I mean, it's, and it's not expensive. It really isn't. You only need such a tiny bit. Obviously, there's a lovely website called Bespoke Aroma that has some really nice facial oils on it as well.
Write that down, okay.
Award-winning, I should say.
Award-winning, of course, you do need to say that. So what is your range then? If somebody's going to buy something off the shelf, so I'm not below wood. I don't have massive budget to spend on their own proprietary scents, but what could I just buy as a consumer from you?
Okay, so I've got two brands. So the first one is Bespoke Aroma, which is more of an aromatherapy brand. So that's where I've got my bath products. I do like pillow mists and facial mists, and little pulse points for anxiety and sleep and uplifting, that sort of side of things.
Other world, Jo. Honestly, it's like you're not even talking the same language as me. What is a pillow mist, and why would I use a pillow mist?
Oh my goodness. Oh, pillow mist. So basically I just use lavender floral water and lavender essential oil in a little bottle, and you just spritz it onto your pillow, onto your bedding, and it just fills the room with lavender. So when you go to sleep, when you go to bed, it just really helps you to relax and go to sleep. Gorgeous.
Okay.
And facial mists. I'll do a peppermint one because being of a certain age, I quite need it.
Not me.
Oh well, I'm afraid I am. So I find it really helpful to have a little spritz on a hotter moment. And it's quite nice. It's just cooling and it's reviving. So that's the aromatherapy side of things. And then in September, I launched a new skincare range, a vegan skincare range. And it's basically all the inspiration from all the spas I've worked with. So it's a culmination of everything I've done with them. So it's like a full facial range plus some body scrubs as well, and a foot scrub. And I put 6 of them into the Beauty Shortlist Awards, and 3 of them got awards, which I was really pleased with. So I'm obviously doing something right. So that's good.
Well, it's a culmination, isn't it, of because you're so passionate about research, aren't you? That I think that just shows in your product. Because I think I presume you haven't set out to make a money-making business. You've set out to create a beautiful product for challenges that people have, and I think that is exactly the right way to run a business, isn't it? You've customer first, and then you've designed your products around them.
Definitely, it has. I mean, the first product I ever made, a friend of mine was going through breast cancer, and she was really struggling to find something she could use on her skin safely. And I said, well, just let me have a go and see what I can make. And I made, in the end, like an oil for her to use. And it worked so well. Even her oncologist said, what are you using? It's just incredible. It's really helping you heal. So I just thought, well, if I can make someone's life just that little bit better, then my life is, everything is worthwhile. And I tell you what, Sam, doing this, I feel privileged because I wake up in the morning and I look forward to going to work. Now, in my old job, I woke up in the morning and I felt ill. I just did not want to do what I was doing. But to wake up and think, right, what am I making today? Who am I going to talk to? What research shall I do? Who am I going to go have a meeting with? And I just think, wow, I'm so lucky to be in that position. So yeah.
And there's so many of our friends, I think, particularly female friends, but also some male friends as well, that come to the Sam Club that feel exactly the same way as you do about their businesses. I think that's why we find it such an inspiring place to be, isn't it? And motivating place to be. Everybody comes in happy, they go out happy, looking a little bit more befuddled than they went in, but and everybody's just wanting to help each other's businesses. And
that's it. The support is incredible. I was genuinely shocked when I first started networking, and it was yours that I first came to. The support that was out there, people genuinely just wanting to help you, not to make them further them along in their business so they could say they'd help, but just genuinely wanted to help you. It was just really, really lovely.
Not like the Midlands, is it? You're not in the Midlands now, Joe. People like each other here. That's just a joke. I do actually like the Midlands quite a lot. But I was talking to Lucy Nicholson about this the other day, and she came on a lockdown lesson with me, one of my earliest ones. And, and when she found out it was going to be live, she was a wreck. And we called it What's in Your Fridge. And it was so popular that she was blown away. So she started her own show, isn't she now? And she does it every day. And it's really popular. And what she says is exactly what you're saying to me. I look forward to it. I really enjoy it. I'm putting ingredients together and making little inventions that I would never thought I would do. And people all over the world are tuning in for it. It's just incredible. What we're doing is amazing. I think every single business owner we know should be doing a live every single day, because it's just the connections you make are fantastic.
Yeah, it is actually. I must admit, this one I do every Thursday. It takes up a lot of my time and thought and energy to work towards it. And then I think, I'm not doing it again. I'm not doing it again. And then it's like, right, what should we do next week?
Yeah. You've got to have pages and notes. You've got to have a lesson plan, desired learning outcome, all that. Yeah. Whereas I'm just like, let's just go live. But no, I think when I say every day, take it with a pinch of salt, take it with a pinch of honey. I think showing up, I think it's so important. Showing up with your lovely smile and helping people, and people will remember that after lockdown. And given that we've had 38 guests or something on now on these lockdown lessons, and every single one has brought something new and exciting and interesting to these lockdown lessons, I think it's fantastic. I really do.
Yeah. Now, we don't always have time when we're networking to really get down to what people do and how they got to do what they were doing. Sometimes it's quite reactionary, isn't it? Or you're working on something at the moment and it's not looking back. So that's been great to hear people's stories of how they've got to do what they've got to. So many people start off doing something completely different as well.
And I just love the tips that you give, because they're just, it's taking out it's quite challenging, isn't it? Taking your expertise and you're going, right, well, 5 things, that's it. Ian Bart, who's coming on tomorrow, who is a bit of a technical wizard, and he wanted to do a whole presentation and 5 completely different things. I'm like, you just have to say down to just 5 things, and he's going to do 5 ways to improve your Wi-Fi. I mean, who's going to want that? You know? But trying to get your massive knowledge and distill it down into 5 tips, I think is a challenge, but it's a good challenge, isn't it?
Oh, it is, yeah. I've enjoyed it. This, just the research behind, the things, just looking around my kitchen going, right, what have I got? What have I got? Blueberries, raspberries, and it's just, what can I do with them? Right, this is what you do. It's great.
It's just fantastic. And you have got a little offer, haven't you, for people that are watching?
I have, yes. I've saved this on my live each week as well. So if anybody has any skincare questions, or they've got want to know what ingredients would be good for anything in particular, just drop me a message or on my Facebook page. Happy to give you lots of advice. And also, because things, obviously pennies are a little bit tight and people furloughed and businesses temporarily closed, so I've put a 20% off across my website. It's just Bespoke 20, so please make use of it. And it's great because it's supporting me as a small business, but I feel hopefully that people can have a little pamper for a little bit less money. So that's what I'm offering.
Thank you. No, I'm definitely going to go and have a look at it, because I didn't know you brought that skincare range out, when I've completely forgotten to go back and have a look at it. But given that I'm running a lot more at the moment, I feel like I need to now, get something else. So that's been really useful. Kerry says, hang on, I've got my glasses on, Kerry, sorry. Thank you both. Fabulous and informative session. You made me smile a lot. Yeah, which has made me smile as well, Kerry, today. She is, she's very naughty, actually. She's the kind of person you want to go out for a drink with, Kerry. Let me just tell you that. I'm sure you already know that. So thank you, Jo. It's been really fun, actually. I've really enjoyed it. As you can probably tell. And you through your Bespoke Aroma page, and we'll put these 5 ingredients up for people if they can't remember all those 5 things, and anything else you want to say. So thank you very much.
Pleasure. Thanks, Sam.
Enjoy the rest of your Sunday.